lot changed in that second half, especially on the scoreboard. What to you was causing you guys to fall behind so much?
They play with a lot of force. They play with a lot of determination. We made some early defensive mistakes in the second half, where we did some things that we weren't supposed to be doing. We gave up a couple of threes. Momentum got going, and they got rolling. And when we're unable to get stops, it's hard to get the ball out and go and play the way we want to play. So we were bad on both sides of the ball. They were great. We were bad. We made mistakes and had problems defensively, and offensively, ball needed to move more.
Your rotation was drastically different first two games to this one. What went into your thinking and changing some of the stuff you did?
Just coaching decisions.
Getting out of doubles to guard Gary Trent, did you see any breakdowns there, and what specifically you guys need to do better to contain him the next game?
We'll look at it. But a couple of them were situations where we maybe went and double teamed when we shouldn't have, didn't need to. And look, they were moving the ball, creating problems. So you got to give them a lot of credit.
You guys were deep in against the shot clock, a lot of possessions. Was there something about your offensive rhythm that wasn't clicking tonight?
Too much holding the ball, and not enough moving it. We'll have to look at it, but our paint rate in the first half was much better than the second. I mean, I think that's probably an obvious statement, but we'll look at it, and we'll get better for Sunday.
They're obviously 4 of 23 in the first half. And did you feel like you were defending some of those well, or did you feel like there were?
What are you talking about?
They were 4 of 23 in the first half from three. Did you guys feel like you were defending those well, or did you see some of the same mistakes, and you were just fortunate enough for those shots not to go in?
Some were defended well. Some they simply missed. We missed some too. And so you'll have to look at it. I don't have an accurate ratio sitting here. I haven't looked at anything yet. But it's a game can turn very quickly in the playoffs, and in the third quarter, some mistakes at both ends at the wrong time ignited their run, and we got to eliminate those.
What brought just Ben Shepherd back to mind for you in terms of just wanting to add him to the rotation? What did you like and not like from what you got back from him tonight?
Time to get him involved. Did some really good things in the first half. Drew had 2 fouls. Lillard was out there, gives us another guy to chase Lillard around a little bit. And look, we need all hands on deck. We need everybody, and guys are going to have to be able to come in and possibly play short minutes from time to time to help us with the matchup, to help us with rebounding, to help us with spacing, you name it. So Shep's, he's always been ready, and it was good. It was good to see him jump out there and have a good run, particularly in the first half.
Rick, how atmospheres like this, how important, other teams feel the same way when they go to Gainbridge, but how important is it to not let these run, to get these fans involved?
It's very important. And I can't give you an exact blow-by-blow as to what led to it, but they picked up their intensity and their force in the second half, and we obviously needed to be a lot better in those areas.
Yeah. You go from up 10 at halftime to losing the second half by 30. What shifted to you at the break that they just ran away with it?
Yeah, we get enough stops. They obviously scored 39 points. That's probably the most they've scored in a quarter in the series, I would assume. We didn't get enough stops, allow us to play in transition, where we're at our best. And then I thought our half-court offense got a little stagnant. We were playing on our heels a little bit, and that starts with me. And we just got to do a better job of getting downhill, from the jump. So I got to be better there. And, I don't see that happening again. But, that third quarter really, again, came back to bite us.
You just touched on a lot of this, but you guys were late in the clock a lot on
Yeah.
offense in that half. Was that a pace thing? What to you was causing that?
No, I wouldn't quite say that. I just felt like we were maybe on our heels a little bit. I felt like that's where we're at our worst offensively, and I think maybe not maybe, but that definitely played a part in it. We got to do a better job of getting downhill, playing faster, and this starts with me. I got to be better. I'll be better in Game 4.
Trent was hitting everything. Was there? You guys lose him too many times coming out of those doubles? Was it just a hot night? What did you diagnose with that?
Yeah, I mean, he had a hell of a game. We got to do a better job of rotating. I got to do a better job of staying down on shot fakes. Grounded contest, second jumper contest. So it starts with me. That's my matchup to start the game. So I got to be better, but we're rotating, and I thought we had a couple miscommunications that led to some open ones, and he got hot. So, we got to do a better job in Game 4.
Just to go back to what you said about just playing on your heels, it seemed like, especially in the first quarter, you were really attacking back off and made baskets a lot and seemed like you had some success on that. Was there anything they did different to make that harder? I mean, did they clog the lane anymore or just do anything that made it tougher for you guys to get downhill? Then it seemed like you had some success doing that in the first.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I felt like we just I feel like it was more us than anything, being process oriented and looking at it. I felt like we just got to do a better job of getting downhill, and staying aggressive. And I think anytime you can, get to the paint and they rotate, we like our chances. I thought we got a lot of good looks in the first half that just didn't drop for us. I think you look at it process wise, I feel like we got a lot of good looks that just didn't fall, and that theme kind of carried throughout the rest of the game. So we got to do a better job in Game 4, but we'll watch the film and see where we can get better.
How much does Giannis' presence change things when you're trying to get downhill? And obviously, it seems like you're going off the rim and finishing when he's not there, and maybe seeing that just for sensible, obviously reasons, kind of passing out and moving along. Just how much does he kind of change the math? I guess
Yeah, I mean, does a great job of roaming. Great rim protector, so being cognizant of that. But I still got to be more aggressive. I feel like I probably passed out of too many tonight. Floaters and stuff like that. So, obviously that's kind of what he does, especially with Brook out when Brook's not in. Giannis is that rim protector presence. So, I think he kind of just flies in from different places and just trying to, be aware of where he is and just try to make the right play.
Second half, after you guys' first half, what's you changed that let them get going?
I thought they had more physicality than us. They played a lot harder than we did. Obviously, they made a lot of shots, a lot of threes. I mean, I think Gary had 9 threes. It's a lot. Yeah, they upped their physicality, and we just weren't there.
I think you said after Game 1 you wanted to defend shooters better as a team, and then tonight, obviously, the second half happens.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's been so challenging for you guys, especially considering the way you're defending Giannis in these games?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be in rotation. We got to rotate better. We got to get there.
Offensively, second half issues felt like into your offense early. What did you see there, and why do you feel like you guys still want to get flowing?
Yeah, we didn't get enough stops to run and play our game. We just didn't have that juice to just continue to play the way we play.
Just wanted to go back to the rotation thing. Is it just a matter of guys not seeing the next pass? I mean, like, what's leading to guys not getting there fast enough, for the closeouts?
I think we're going to find out. We watch film. Yeah, once we watch film, we'll find out.
Rick just talked about not seeing enough ball movement in the second half, and Tyrese was also just talking about, not necessarily getting pace just because you were, taking the ball out of the net. What did you kind of see just break down what led to just more standing?
We gotta be better. We gotta move a lot better. Collectively, get the ball moving and just be us. Like, we gotta be us. And I think it's hard when they score. We gotta get the ball off the basket, like off the net. And they had more physicality than us. Like, we can't have that happen.
Is there anything they did better on? You guys had some success on kind of attack backs off and made back buckets in the first quarter. Did they do anything different to kind of take that away from you and make that?
On what you said? Sorry.
It seemed like you guys were able to attack back off and made baskets in the first quarter and have some success there. Did they do anything different, like after a made bucket, that made it harder for you guys?
I don't know overall, but I think, like I said, I thought their level of physicality and intensity was higher than ours, and mostly, like, once you do that, that team has a higher chance of winning.
What was your reaction? I mean, when you have Trent kind of just pouring him in left and right throughout the game and just getting the crowd going in that second half too? What was just the reaction of watching that all unfold and then just not being able to?
I don't know. Yeah, it's just, they made shots, and we gotta play better.
Pascal, since this group has been together for a while, you've experienced playoff losses together. Do you think that's helpful in a situation like this, knowing that these losses are more important than regular season, but you've seen you guys bounce back?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously that happens. You know, all the games are different, and we approach every single game differently. And tonight they got to win. We got to go back, learn from it, and come back and do better as a team. And I thought, you know, obviously the experience that we have might help. I don't know, but I guess we'll find out. But I just think that having that disposition of just knowing the stuff that we didn't do well and try to correct them the next game.
Seemed like just the rotation, maybe weren't quick enough and giving up some open threes, just what kind of led to that.
Yeah, I think we just messed up.
No. I'm reading some, bro. I'm not even.
I think we messed up a few coverages. Weren't solid enough on that side of the floor. Maybe we're not focused. But I think we just got to stay solid and stick to our plan. Me being one of them. But other than that, I think we did a solid job overall throughout the whole game. Had a low last, but I think we let it drag on too long.
What, as coaches were talking about maybe the ball not moving quick enough in the second half, just what did you see on the offensive side as far as not getting into what you guys wanted to get into?
I'm not really sure. I wasn't watching it from the outside, so I gotta watch the film, see. But I'm not really that sure.
It's easy to say this after he made felt like every shot he took, but how much did Trent being in that starting group change the dynamic of what they had on the floor?
Not much, in my opinion. Did a good job getting shots today, but not much in terms of the dynamic. No.
You guys were deep in the clock a lot on the offensive end. Was that a ball movement thing to you? Why do you feel like it took you guys so long to get into sets?
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing for us.
User.
I think trying to move the ball, play together, and sometimes our opportunity for getting the good shots later.
And Drew, just mentality, you guys still have a series lead. I mean, just the message to the locker room after this one.
Message to the locker room after this one. Double down on ourselves and the team and come together even more, compete harder, and leave it all out there.